I messed that up.
Well, no, you didn't.
I gotta wait another second, I think.
Nah, that worked.
And then that 30-second countdown that's at the top of our graphics. I don't know why it's there. But anyway, that's not the one you're supposed to push. But as they say, the show must go on. It's Saturday morning. It's 10 a.m. And to steal a phrase from my other PIC, you know what that means. It's for exposure time. What's up, Blair? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm tired, but I'm good. It's been a crazy week, but we had some fun wrestling yesterday.
We
so
did.
You can't.
Last night was a double dose of some fun independent wrestling.
Yeah. So how did you manage that? So we decided we wanted to talk about Warriors card last night because it was fun, and LPW's. LPW, our home promotion, LPW 16. I think you should layer it was on. I kept finding myself back and forth, but then I kept finding myself like focusing in a lot on the LPW because that was good times.
Yeah, it was. I would end up focusing just on one and then completely missing what was going on the other. So next time we're going to try to figure this out. Like, you do one, I'll do the other.
We'll have to be professional about it, is what you're saying.
We're not going to try to go hero mode and do two at the same time.
Hey, it's Canada Day, so Americans owe everything Canadian. No, they know $5. So Lawrence, you've already been paid handsomely by me and JPJ, so we'll give you another $5. That's fine.
Pay up, Pluggo.
Hey, that's fine. Hey,
dollar bills.
Done. If speaking of Lawrence, he's a friend of Shane Hawks, who was on Beards on Thursday, and Shane said he owes you a couple stunners, so we're gonna get that done.
How was that? Because I know IWS has their big show coming up in 2 weeks' time. So
yes, and we're gonna cover that here, just so you know, calling it or let you know. It was fine. It was awesome. So we'll get that out of the way. That's independent wrestling related. Jay, all that fun stuff. He came on Thursday because the timing of his interview with Fightful came out, and we had Alex Kane scheduled to come on, and we the clickbaity headline thing, as Andrew said, was that basically Canadian professional wrestling has it much harder than the American side. And Alex Kane took exception to it, yada, yada, yada. So Alex Kane came on. He said his piece. Then Andrew came on, a.k.a. Shane Hawk, on Thursday with me and JPJ on Beards. You can catch it right here on this YouTube channel when you're done with us. Watch it. It was the most, and I'm being honest, it was like the most passionate interview I've ever been a part of. Like he laid it all out there. He explained, like, look, it wasn't a dig at the Americans. He's just saying it's harder for Canadians to get exposure. And he was very passionate. He pretty much put the ball in Alex Kane's court and said, hey, you want to wrestle? Come on, let's make it happen. Let's figure this out with money involved, whatever. We'll make it happen. But he was very cool. He promoted the hell out of the IWS card in 2 weeks. That show is going to rule. It's going to be an awesome time. So, yeah, we'll be covering that here on For Exposure, if not other places, because I would run through a brick wall for that guy. Mm-hmm. He had me fired up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for the Alex Kane calling him out. I want to see a match between the two. And, like the fact that it can kind of be brewed out of between two beers. I mean, I think that's something a little special,
He did say he'd be okay if Alex Kane killed him, and I said, well, let's not go that far. Let's not. We want you around, but he said make him famous. That's what he will make him famous. He's ready. He said, you know what? So we'll see what happens with that, but that was cool. Mm-hmm. So check that interview out. That was a lot of fun. I mean, nice. we were only going to get him for a half an hour. He gave us a full hour. Like, he was
Mhm.
very generous with his time, very passionate, gave a lot to unpack there from, and I mean, things I didn't even know about independent wrestling in Canada, how, they have to get a visa to come down and work here, and they can't bring merch with them. And there's just all these obstacles that go from Canada to the States, opposed to the States up to Canada. So it was really in depth and really informative. So check it out.
Yeah, it's
Please.
I think a lot of people don't understand the difficulties that a lot of Canadians have when it comes to wrestling down in the States. So go give it a watch, give it a listen, and get a little bit more informed about the wrestler struggles when it comes to crossing the border.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for everyone to come here, so it'd be nice to have the same sort of thing,
He said, of course, the clickbaity title about having, the American independence on easy mode is what everybody gravitated to. But if you watch the interview and listen to the interview, it was more in depth than that. And I said, that's fair. But of course, we ran with the clickbaity stuff because that's what was gaining all the traction. So shout out to, and he's a colleague of ours, Andrew writes for the website on occasion. We'll check out his articles on Love Wrestling CA. You'll also see my face over there too. I write too sometimes. It's weird.
Yeah. You just did one for I think we should Lariat show too. So I mean,
a preview. Yeah. That was fun. I haven't written a preview in a long time, and I kind of like it. So you might see more. Had I thought about this sooner, I would have planned it out and wrote a Money in the Bank preview for today, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Maybe the next few shows. I don't know. But we'll see.
That show just sort of slid in there too, so it kind of
it's at like 3:00, or something like that, or is it like 1:00? It's early today.
Yeah, it's in the afternoon because it's coming from England,
London. Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of England,
yeah, the Q2. Shout out to our England friends. All right,
bro. I got some news for you. Only a little bit, I got
a couple tidbits, a little Tim Hortons tidbits. Blair Pacheco's tidbits and toonies. Is that a thing?
It's gonna be a thing. So I mean, I'm excited to start sharing these. It's nothing too crazy, but I did want to get it out there because I feel like it's sort of like big news, but it kind of slid under the radar. So I mean, I had it in my pictures and then I clicked around. So we talk Wrestling Revolver all the time, right? We preview the shows. We're going to talk about one later on.
They put on great cards, so that's what we do. Yeah.
They have a show next Saturday. It's called Texas Toasted. They just announced one of the wrestlers in action there. It is none other than Limitless Keith Lee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Boom. Keith Lee hasn't done an independent thing since he signed in AEW that I'm aware of.
No, he went. Yeah, he did. He was in PWG doing all those independents. He'd dip over to Rev Pro, and then got signed with WWE. Fair enough. He's in their system now. Gets released right away. AEW. We haven't had the indie run from Keith Lee yet, and I am all here for it.
Let's go. That'll be fun. I discovered Keith Lee with his matches with Riddle in the independent scene back in the day, and that's when I discovered Keith Lee. So there you go. Watch independent wrestling, support independent wrestling. You never know, you might be watching the next star. But that was cool. That's cool. I'm excited for that. When is that? 2 weeks?
That's next Saturday.
Oh, next Saturday. So we'll be talking about that.
Yeah. We'll hype it up, we'll maybe review it the following week. Who knows? Our options are endless.
We do what we want here on Saturday mornings because everyone's still asleep.
Our options are limitless.
I would imagine everybody involved last night with LPW is still sleeping, and I would not blame them because what a night.
I think Levi Knight is up because he liked one of my Instagram posts. So, I mean, he might be up, but everyone else is still sleeping.
That dude's still partying.
Yeah, exactly. He's up all night.
Yeah, he's up all night, Levi Knight.
Another big announcement, and this is for Thursday, is that Billy Starks is going to make her debut with Wrestling Open. So up in the Northeast there.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, nice. And I noticed that Billy Starks just got a t-shirt on AW Shop. So
Yeah.
it's all but official, I would imagine, if they're selling your merch that she's signed. So I'm glad she's still doing some indie stuff though too. Good for her.
Yeah, it's nice because I mean she's still still has the opportunity to do so. So I might as well take advantage of it, work those indie dates, and
Lawrence is awake. Were you at LPW last night, Lawrence? I was meaning more of like everybody like in that, but hey, I'm glad you're up, Lawrence. Trying to get $5 from every American you know. How many Americans do you know, Lawrence? How much will that end up being, if you don't mind us asking?
Lawrence has connections, so I wouldn't be
surprised. Blair's Canadian, so he's not giving you $5.
No.
Yeah, so it just looks like it's just me and JPJ right now, and then
so far you guys are out $20 at least. So
yeah, minimum. We pay Lawrence double because he's such a dynamite lawyer.
He is very good. He does a great job.
He does. He gets us the subpoenas. He gets us, all sorts of like $25, maybe $30 or people. Because 30 at 5, that's a good chunk of change. But if it's 6 people, $30 is still good. I mean,
yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah. Dollars. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Don't spend it all in one place.
The past few weeks, we've been able to see Desperado doing shows with GCW. He wrestled the Tournament of Survival the next night. Well, reason being that we're seeing him more often is he hasn't signed a new, he hasn't re-upped his contract with New Japan. He's still going to wrestle there, but he hasn't been signed. He's
on a per appearance deal.
Yeah, that's still his home promotion, but he can still do more independent dates. So we'll still probably see him pop up. So.
Hey, there you go. That's not a bad thing.
No. So we got that, and WrestleCore just added up WrestleCore of Oz up on there, up on IWTV. So you can go there, check out Michael Richard Blaze, Ravenous Randy.
Yeah. Can we talk
about
that WrestleCore card they're promoting now with Alan Angels is on it, Zoe Sager's on it.
Yeah.
Spencer Love is gonna be there to, I'm assuming, ring announce. What the heck?
There is some names that
Jack Pride.
Yeah, Pride. Reed Matthews is going to be there. I just chatted with him for the podcast. So, I mean, it's kind of nice that these wrestlers are getting opportunities there.
I'm just going to say this. Reed Matthews would be a perfect addition to the Between Two Beards guest rotation. So I think I need to set that up.
You should. Reed is incredible.
He's thick. He's got a beard. He'd fit in perfect with us, in here.
Down with the thickness.
We're down with the thickness over in Between Two Beards. But yeah, no, WrestleCore's doing things. Wrestling is thriving.
It really is. Because, I mean, we're just talking about shows like smaller shows like this, like the WrestleCore one, they have their audience. They put the shows up on IWTV, branching out more. And just think there's companies that don't even do this. So I mean, and you're still getting great action on there. You're getting ones that are doing, pay-per-view-esque cards every, 4 weeks or whatever. Go out, check out some wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it, I mean, it's in full swing. We're out of we're out of the pandemic era, so everything's getting back up and running. Plus, you had, like the WWE did all those firings, and AEW had let some people go as well. So you kind of have that influx of people that are like, not like Alan Angels is a great example of a guy that he did the AEW run, got some, shine on his name. And now it's like, well, let me reinvent myself down here in the indies. Steph DeLander, she got let go from NXT. She's out here killing it on the indie scene. You have that influx of name brand, which brings attention to your indie talent, which then, lifts up the other people on the indie, like the Blackwoods of the world and things like that we've talked about on a weekly basis. So independent wrestling's in a good spot right now. You know what I'm saying? Watch it, support it, love it.
Yeah, I could not agree more. It's great to see, and you're seeing wrestlers being able to do, I don't want to say more of what they love, but you can tell, take Roddy Strong a few weeks ago when he came out for that show, at Black Sunshine, and you can just see the emotion in his face, being able to do what he truly loves, and that's just wrestle. So I mean, seeing that, it connects you so much more.
You know, going back to his roots, where, you know, like independent wrestling, where he got his start. Because again, and this isn't a knock. This isn't a knock at WWE. I watch it. I love it. You know, I'm going to watch Money in the Bank later today. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be nerding out. Their system is not a wrestler system, so to speak. They're an entertainment company. So, you know, you've got to do more acting work, promo work. You know, they'll put you in situations that maybe you don't want to be in, but you do it because it's your job. You know, AEW is a little different. They have a little bit more freedom, but still, it's an entertainment. The independent wrestling is, a lot of the times, it's the wrestling that gets you over. There's not a ton of promo work that goes into it. There's not a lot of storyline. Some promotions, of course, but you know what I mean? There's some like Warrior Wrestling. There's not a ton of storyline in an all-star card like that. It's like, let's put on some really killer matches. A few of them have some stories, but you know, so that's I have to imagine a guy like Roddy, who's a wrestler's wrestler, just loves that.
I mean, I will give any independent promotion the props for being able to continually do a storyline, even if it isn't on like a grandesque scale, but to have that continuity, I think it goes a long way, because you can, for smaller ones, it's a lot more difficult to put on these all-star, you know, indie-rific cards, because I mean, you're not going to make money that way just bringing in tons of talent, you know, like sure, it's a lot of fun to watch, but it adds up after a while. So being able to use a combination of great local wrestlers plus bringing in a couple outside talents and being able to produce a storyline that garners and captures attention, that's really what you want to find for a smaller promotion. So, and
I know a promotion that does just that.
Yeah.
LPW, baby.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, LPW, Spencer.
Yeah, guys are killing it.
Storylines, bringing in, you know, and some outside talent. Man, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to. I can't say that on Thursdays, but here I can say that. He knows what he's doing.
So, I mean, we were both watching the show last
night. Did you hear him yell yesterday, by the way, before we get into like the card? Like, did you hear him screaming?
I heard like moments of like anger and
I know. I'm the only one that's ever heard that outside of, you know, The Office. And yeah, I was like, oh, that gives me PTSD. Did I blow the budget again? No, it was.
He was laying down the law last night.
Yeah, he was. He was in the mix. But anyway,
so we were both watching. We were both watching. We were watching live. We were in the chat, chatting away. It was a lot of fun last night.
Yeah, it was a good time. A lot of good people in the chat. Good show overall. I mean, it was a good time. And LPW, and I said it in my article I wrote. I say it every time we talk LPW. I don't just say this because I work here. It's a really great independent wrestling experience. It's a lot of fun. It moves pretty quick. You know, the matches all have some substance to them, some stories. There's stakes involved. He brings in, you know, like we get the shots of Mackenzie's of the world coming in. Like, it's a good time. And I said this last night in the chat. LPW has the best entrances, I think. Like the vibe when the wrestlers come out, the cameras in their face, and everything. I love it.
They kicked things off last night with Son of Irish defending his championship against Reed Matthews, future guest of Between Two Beards, Reed Matthews, hopefully.
Lawrence said it woke him up. Spencer yelling. Because Lawrence has been in some of those meetings because we've had to get the legal team involved, where Spencer just yells at me on Friday mornings. It's not fun. Anyway, yes, Reed Matthews, Son of Irish.
The power that Reed Matthews has, like watching him toss around Son of Irish, there was like that one suplex where he just chucked on 3/4 of the ring. I mean, what an absolute beast. Like, Reed Matthews has it.
I know. I actually thought watching this match, I thought it was going to be Reed. I thought they were going to pull the trigger. I thought he was going to come out of there with the championships. The match was cool. He was in control for a good portion of it. I thought, oh, Zoe and Reed with some titles, that'd be an interesting thing. And then of course, Son of Irish, well deserved, pulls it off, gets the win. He's the man. That guy is a showstopper. I love that they put him on first a lot, get you hyped up.
He really does. I mean, some of the moves he's able to pull off, very fast, high flying. I mean, the counters he was able to pull off with some of Reed's power moves, I mean, were very impressive. You're seeing cutters, you're seeing almost like the stun dog millionaire type moves, when he's getting them up for suplexes. So like, I was very impressed with the performance of Son of Irish last night.
Heck yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. After that, we had
I'm pulling up our ad read, our weekly, like we forgot to pull it up, but go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
No, I'm pulling up the read.
You do that. After that, we had your best friends, the Rads, going.
Don't put that on me. That's not how that goes. They're not my best friends.
You've got heat with them. They got heat with you.
How do you know they don't have heat with me?
I said you have heat with each other.
There you go. Thank you.
They were facing off against Phil Deadly and Sean Moore. Sean Moore is one of the best wrestlers in independent wrestling, hands down. The talent he has, can wrestle a multitude of styles. He is just an absolute beast in the ring. And if I'm starting a promotion, if I was, behind LPW, Sean Moore is exactly the kind of wrestler that I want on my roster because he is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, 100%. Like I've talked to Spencer about Sean Moore, and he says basically the same thing. He's just like, he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's a great person to have in your locker room. He's awesome. And when that Dead Prez song comes on, man, I get hyped,
Oh yeah.
Dude, and then him and Phil, that's the first time that I know of that they've tagged together, and it was a good time. They had a really good time. I mean, if we're being honest, the Rads, sure, Thaddeus distracted them, and cost them the match. But if we're being honest, you got to be ready for that, right? If you're Larry and Rich.
Yeah, I mean, Larry and Rich are two veterans. They have to be prepared for anything.
They got to be prepared, but they'll probably yell at me for saying that. But no, it was a good match overall. It was hard hitting. There was plenty of spots where I thought the Rads, because I had written, and my prediction was like the Rads would get this win. It'd be a hard fought victory, and they'd get back into that title picture scene because that's what they want. They want those championships, but it was Phil and Sean's night, and then Sean Moore after the match said, "Barat, Shabazz, we're coming. We want those belts. Let's do that." So I'm not sure if that, because obviously we'll talk about the tag match later on that night, but Phil and Phil and Sean took care of their side of things. So hopefully they'll get that tag title shot soon, because I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, talk about calling your spot right off the bat. I mean, they get their first win as a team together. And if you're in wrestling, I mean, you want to be a champion, you want the gold around your waist. So you may as well just go straight for the champs, call your shot, and see what you can do.
Like Sheik Shabazz and Sean Moore facing off in the middle of a ring. Oof.
It gives you shivers, doesn't it?
It's going to hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt.
It's like the Ed Sheeran song Shivers.
Nice. Good call.
Yeah,
Good shout.
That's my pop culture reference for the show.
Good shout. All right, who is next?
After that, we had Sebastian Wolf.
That's right.
Against the wily veteran Jared Rogers.
The wily veteran.
The wily veteran.
Wily veteran, baby, all day. My God.
And I know he's not called the wily veteran. I know that it's just an unofficial nickname. But after the match last night, in what can only be described as one of the biggest upsets in LPW history, the wily veteran Jared Rogers gets a win.
Nice one too. Yeah. Did not expect that. So maybe Sebastian had his mind on other things. I don't know, because I know he said he wasn't making the same mistake twice that he made with Zoe. He comes out. It looks like business as usual for Wolf. He's ahead of the game. He's taking care of Jared. Jared gets a couple hope spots in, and all of a sudden, boom, roll up win. What? All right, Jared, we see you, dog. We see
Jared Rogers it has been, an active member of the LPW roster for, the past 3-4 months. Mm-hmm. And I mean, what a performance he's been able to put on in this time. I mean, just like he's making a name for himself. He's getting a big win against Sebastian Wolf, who's one of the top wrestlers in Canada right now. So, I mean, to be able to get something like that and really, start making a name for yourself, that's huge for Jared.
He's over with the fans, too. They love him. Everybody loves him. He's the wily veteran, bro.
That's why he's over.
Heck yeah. Good for him. Congratulations on, I believe, your first victory in LPW. Yeah. Yes, because he's not won yet.
I think so. I mean, if you want to talk for a
minute, the reason I say that is because I don't have the Clandestine Society / LPW results from Thursday and when they wrestle on that Thursdays, because I'm kind of busy doing my thing on the beards, but I checked those out later, but I didn't. So I don't know if he's pulled off a win yet, but as far as I've seen, he has not. But hey, good on him.
I'm going to say that is his first victory.
Cheers to you, wily veteran.
So that's huge props to Jared Rogers.
Making towns, baby. He's making towns.
He is. He's the 40-mile vet, like just going around.
That's right.
I would be amiss because, I mean, Sebastian Wolf came in last night and he was looking incredible. I mean,
yeah.
Dude was jacked to the gills. I mean, incredible showing in the ring. Just a couple mistakes, and it ended up on the wrong side for him. But I mean, I have no doubt that there's still big things to come for Sebastian Wolf and LPW.
No, for sure. I would hope they bring him back and he gets refocused. It's crazy to be an 0-2 for Wolf in LPW. That's weird to say.
Didn't expect that, but I mean, after last month's match, losing to Zoe Sager, maybe that's still weighing on his mind. Just the way it went down. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. After that, we had some trios action. We had the Clandestine Society facing off with 7.
Yeah. The best way to describe this match, if you haven't seen it yet, go out of your way to see it. This whole show is still up on Love Wrestling on Twitch. So you go to twitch.tv/Love Wrestling CA. You can watch this whole thing. Car crash, just chaos. It was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
I missed most of it because I saw the beginning and then the new dryer showed up at 9:00 last night. So I had to move that inside. So.
You should leave that out there. Just leave that outside. That's fine. LPW or dry clothes, man. No. It got chaotic. It was what I expected from the 6 of them. All 6 of those wrestlers are great in their own respects. You got Jack Pride, you got Mars Specialist, you got TJ on the 7 side, TFA, Crow, MRB on Clandestine Society, of course. But at one point, because of what happened earlier with Thaddeus, who is in charge or the leader or the mouthpiece of 7, however you want to look at it, the manager, whatever word you use, you do that. But he cost the Rads a match, so the Rads decided to get involved, and intervene, and just the 9 of them, it went crazy. It erupted all over the arena. It ended up on the stage. I mean, there's people coming out from the locker room pulling each other off. Spencer's like legit yelling. Like, I didn't know Canadians could yell like that. I mean, I know that, but it's out in public. Yeah. I didn't think it was a public thing. I thought you were all nice in public, but yeah, he's yelling, getting them to the back. He's telling the Clandestine Society, I'll take care of you guys later. Get to the back. I don't know what repercussions are going to come from this, but the bout ended in a no contest. It got so out of hand that they couldn't decide a winner. They couldn't figure it out. They couldn't finish the match. So I have a feeling we're going to see more from this. I mean, I'm not booking the show, but I don't know if you could do a triple threat, 3-way, 9-person triple threat, maybe just throw all 9 of them into a scramble match, Spencer, and let them figure it out. That would be an interesting. I don't know what he's got planned. I honestly don't. I just sat there yesterday and said, you got a lot to figure out here because it was chaotic.
Before, the match got going, I'm like, okay, we got 6 wrestlers here. I mean, maybe this is going to lead to a scramble match between Seven and Clandestine Society for Jack Scramble Championship. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Pardon me. But now after you have 3 teams in there, 3 teams of 3, do you think we can fit the war game structure and rec route? Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, hey. Well, and to be fair, TY was not involved because he was busy later on, but it was Ben Omen. So I guess if you want the Larry, Rich, and Ben as your trio for the Rads, sure. Why not?
I mean,
why not?
We should let's talk to Spencer and maybe we can get a war games in there.
Let's see if we can move this up, run this up the flagpole, get in the creative room at LPW.
What's the financial situation on getting a cage in the rec room?
Yeah, how do we pull this off? How many super chats do we need to get here to pull off a double cage at the rec and just throw all 9 of them in there and let them go?
I'd be down with that. I mean, I bet they would have a hell of a match.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's
do Book it, Spence.
So after that, we had intermission, some fantastic clips of all the great Love Wrestling shows and interviews that you've been fortunate enough to see or they showed that on there. And then coming out of break, we got Gigi Ray facing off with the Canadian debut of Shazza McKenzie.
Yes. Yes. What a match.
Yeah. Like, you were able to see when you look at Gigi from right now, from when she made her last appearance in LPW, the steps and just the progress she's made. Like, she is on another level right now when it comes to like just everything about her skill set, how well she moved in the ring. I mean, she had an incredible performance last night.
Oh yeah, Shazza was doing her thing early on. She had a great showing. She was pretty much in control for a lot of the match, and then Gigi stuck out that pin on her. That was an interesting pin combination. I ain't seen that in a long. You don't see that very often on Gigi's part, but it was a good time. It was Shazza had the crowd eating out of the pomegranate. Gigi, it was just a good atmosphere for a great match. Gigi won, which is good for her. Her first win in LPW. Yes. We got a lot of firsts last night. And that was something that was like weighing on me. I was like, Gigi hasn't won. Is she not going to win against Shazza? What are we doing here? Oh no, 0-3 Gigi. No, she gets it done. Hopefully we can have Shazza and McKenzie come back in LPW and wrestle some more because it was a good time.
It's a testament to wrestling when you have that as a part of the storyline, and you get so invested that you're like, how is she not going to win? Like, she has to win. What are we doing here? To be able to bring you in like that. I mean, it's capturing your attention, bringing like that's what you want for a viewer, for a fan, is to be that invested in it. So
right, and that's LPW's done. They get you invested in these people because they use the same core group of people and they give them interesting stories.
So I was hyped. Gigi won. Very stoked for that. So
I got to talk to her ahead of this, so that was cool. You got to talk to the winner. I talked to Sebastian Wolf, and he did win, but Sebastian Wilson. So I have a feeling he'll get right back on his winning ways soon.
I might have to put this out there. I mean, maybe if there's other LPW wrestlers who you want to get on the winning streak, maybe you just have to talk to me.
There you go.
Maybe I'm the good luck charm.
I'd have to look back and see because how long we've been doing the LPW show. I guess I'd have to look at all the wrestlers I've talked to and see what my record is.
I'm 1-1 because Elliot didn't win the Scrabble match.
I did. Well, I talked to Mars, and they took a no contest. So I talked to Mars. So I mean that's a draw. So there you go. There you go. We'll have to figure it out.
After that, we had the LPW tag champs, Para Lira, defending against Kid Chocolate.
Kid Chocolate, Mojibari, and Levi Knight, another new tag team to the LPW scene. And again, as I wrote, I think with the Rads not having the stranglehold on the tag belts, the tag division is opened up, right? Because the Rads they kind of move to the back of the line, so to speak. So now I think like Sean Moore said, like, hey, there's an opening here in this tag division and we're coming for it. And I think, Mojibari and Levi Knight thought, hey, why don't we just pair up and see what we can do? We can get a shot here. Maybe we win these things. They ended up not winning, but they put in a valiant effort. Sheik Shabazz and Barak Arani are on fire right now. Good for those two. Paralira rules. What did you think of this match?
I'm a fan of Paralira. I mean, some of their shenanigans I'm not huge onto, like when they attacked Sean and Phil earlier. Not.
Oh yeah, we glossed over that completely.
So I mean, it was come on guys, what are we doing here? But I thought that they had a hell of a match. I mean, you have Chocolate and Vanilla, Kid Chocolate, Bo Jabari and Levi Knight, and teaming up for the first time in LPW. So they were able to show some good chemistry. They were able to put up a fight, and you saw Paralira making a few mistakes in that match. So Mo and Levi just couldn't capitalize on those mistakes. They came close a few times, but I mean, Paralira was able to hold on, retain. I mean, they're really trying to make a name for themselves, and hopefully they can get the chemistry down and really go on a bit of a tag run here.
Yeah, I know with Paralira, it could have been like you said. Again, we glossed over it. That's that editorial journalistic integrity that Ryan called me out of in the chat yesterday. Maybe they had maybe they had Kid Chocolate. I'm saying Kid Chocolate. I'm sorry, Phil Deadly and Sean Moore on the mind because they called him out, then they attacked him, and then so maybe they were looking past Levi and Mo a little bit, which you can't do that in this LPW tag division. You can't look past any of these teams because then I'll give you a night, as we just learned, Jared Rogers is pulling off the upset of the LPW history right there. So you gotta stay ready. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes. So we'll see if we get that Sean Moore and I'm like
Phil Deadly.
I'm like drawing blanks on names again. Like I'm just like, it's there. Speak. It's so early. Maybe I should drink my coffee earlier before the show. But yeah, we'll get that Paralira, Sean Moore, Phil Deadly tag team match. It's 17. I don't know. We'll see. You have to stay tuned to socials. I don't know what Spencer's got cooking. He's probably sorting out that crazy melee still. Yeah, he's probably up all night just like, oh, this is going to cost me so much money. And I thought Pluggo was bad.
I mean, we do know one of the matches that's going to be happening at LPW 17.
Which we will... Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, that's a good one. They announced
the main event last night.
The main event of your evening is here from LPW. What a main event.
Yeah, the champ, Zoe Sager, defending against one of your favorites, T.Y. Jackson. I'm just trying to stir the pot here.
You stir the pot. I mean, and this is public knowledge, but everybody, I like T.Y. Jackson as a wrestler. I think he's talented. I think he's very good.
He is.
I was a huge fan of T.Y. Jackson until he came on and told me he hated me and never to leave my country. So, and then he interrupts my streams all the time, and we don't have time for that. T.Y.
T.Y. is great. He put on a hell of a match last night. I mean, he came so close to becoming the new LPW champ last night. Just
if you ask him, he won it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll lay it down for you. We'll lay it down. Lay of the land. T.Y. had Zoe pinned. Refs counting 1, 2. Reed Matthews puts Zoe Sager's foot on the rope.
Smart.
Reed Matthews, you son of a gun.
Reed Matthews pays out dividends.
Oh, and Lawrence is getting in on there too. Gee.
Sorry. You're pushing? Okay. You
I
like T.Y. as much as T.Y. likes taking L's. Yeah. It's like I said, I've never disparaged the Rads as being talented wrestlers. Like they are talented. They are good at what they do. I just don't like them as people.
That's fine.
And I'm allowed to do that anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, the Reed Matthews is like paying off in dividends for Zoe. Like, hey, that saved her championship.
So moments before that happened, one of the refs had got hit. So replacement ref came down. They're the one that made the call. The other ref woke up, found out. I think it was Stu who woke up, and then. Yep. Spencer was out there too, like trying to sort this shit out, trying to get, Law and Order.
It's an important decision. This is the grand championship we're talking about here.
So match was restarted, and a couple huge moves by Zoe, a couple huge by TY, some near falls, and then Zoe picks up the win. Retains the LPW championship.
Right.
So
a lot of chaos last night. This was one of the more chaotic LPW shows I can remember in recent history, where there was just like, if you blinked, you missed something. And it was a good time, but ultimately Zoe wins. She retains. Yes. She's doing her thing. Gigi Ray's music hits. She comes out. I love this. I love it. They get fired up. They're jaw-jacking with each other. And then what do? They announce it.
Hold on. Spencer comes out because he's had enough.
Yeah, he's had enough. He's fed up. That's true. Yeah, Spencer comes out. He's fed up. He's fed up. He's yelled. He's screamed. He's pissed off. Everybody's fighting. Spencer has a case of that Adam Pearce syndrome going on right now, where he can't get control of the locker.
But then you get him mad, and he goes full Vince, and he's like,
"That's enough." I was like, "Oh, geez." I know what that's like.
So Spencer basically says this feud has been, 2 years in the making.
Yeah.
And at LPW 17, we are getting Zoe Sager defending against Gigi Ray in a 3 Stages of Hell match.
Boom. That's going to...
So first fall is a regular singles match, then a submission match, and then we're getting a ladder match. So, I mean...
LPW ladder matches tend to rule, by the way.
They do.
I still can't get over MRB taking that spot.
That was exactly what I was thinking about.
MRB's a wild man. Yeah, so for one, I have to imagine Spencer has no voice. 2, he booked a killer match for LPW 17 to get the ball rolling on that card. Like, that's going to be awesome. Zoe and Gigi, he's right. 2 years of the mate. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of animosity, jealousy, whatever you want to say. Like, whatever adjective you want to use, it's there. Gigi's on a winning streak. She's got her first win under her belt, so she's ready to go. Zoe has been squeaking by the skin of her teeth. Let's be honest. I love Zoe. She's fantastic, but she's, Reed's been a very integral part of keeping this belt around her waist. So we'll see what comes to head at 17. I'm excited. I would be interested to see if maybe we could get Reed and Matthews barred from ringside, just so I just want to see these two just go at it. That would be kind of cool, because why not, right? Like, let's see that. No outside interference, no shenanigans. Let's just one-on-one. May the best person win.
Reed has been so instrumental in a lot of Zoe's victories, a lot of her matches, that you need to have him gone from ringside. Let these two go at it. And hopefully we'll see that at LPW 17, violence, with an incredible poster out already. So
yeah, Zach, good job, dude. That poster slaps, bro. So. Zach's good at what he does.
Oh, Zach!
I mean, obviously our graphics are real cool too. I mean, he does an awesome job. Like, without Zach, we don't look very good,
So we should probably do the read, because we are almost 45 minutes in. Still have Warrior Wrestling. So I'll cue up the video. Let me just
all right,
fun here, a little bet stamp, and
because today's podcast is brought to you by BetStamp, betstamp.com. The free sportsbook betting. It's just like hotels.com or Google Flights. You put in your sports books here on BetStamp where you want to gamble with. They give you the best odds based on whichever sports book is running the best odds, and you can BetStamp users save on average up to $1,000 a year. It could be a huge difference, It could mean thousands of dollars, like I just said there. So thankfully, BetStamp is your easy line. There you go. See, I didn't do it fast enough. I gotta do what we gotta do is get JPJ to record this because it's awesome. But you can find the BetStamp app on your Android device, iOS Play Store, or go to betstamp.com. Sign up free today. Use the referral code Love Wrestling and check out. Let them know that you want to start your gambling journey with us. And I can tell you it's an easy to use interface. It's fantastic. If you want to gamble on tonight's Money in the Bank, if it's allowed to do in your state, use BetStamp. They'll set you up. Well, you can bet on with DraftKings, I believe, on Money in the Bank. So do that today. Tell them we sent you. If you've already signed up and you forgot to put the Love Wrestling promo code in there, don't fret. You can add that back in right now. So go to BetStamp. Tell them that you love. I love BetStamp. They make me a gambling aficionado.
That's how you get the big bucks. You're dropping $1,000 bills on the LA Angels to win. I don't know.
If I was gonna gamble on the LA Angels, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim to win, it wouldn't be that. I would just do player props where like Shohei and Mike Trout are gonna go off, but the rest of the team's gonna lose because that's usually what happens with the Angels.
So they're just gonna clap dingers and that's it.
Yeah, you're gonna get like Shohei and Trout are gonna go 3 for 5 with 2 homers apiece. Shohei's gonna strike out 10, and somehow the Angels are still gonna lose by 6.
Did they? Okay, I know we're getting off topic. Wasn't there like a game like a week ago or two where they lost 24-0, or they won 24-0?
No, they were up 24-0 after like the 4th inning. Yeah. They ended up winning like 25-1 because I think they phoned it in the rest of the way. It was insane. They put up 24 runs in like the first 3-4 innings. It was crazy.
Just clapping dingers. All right,
just nuts. Like if the Rockies, you should just quit after that. You should just throw in the flag. Which is funny. I know we're getting off topic. We'll run through Warrior real quick before we get out of here. But there was a this guy on TikTok, he was like a former GM or something. He was saying that one reason there's no mercy rule in baseball is because the Players Association won't even acknowledge it because if you were to call that game after the 3rd, there's 6 innings of stats that players couldn't potentially get to help earn their money. You know what I mean? So that's why you don't see 10-run rules in baseball.
That's fine. I mean, I would have loved to have seen it be, 48-0. Make everything matter.
At that point, I would have just kept going. Like, why not?
Yeah. You're already embarrassing them, so clap a few more and
put on a show for the fans. Hell yeah.
So last night, because we talked about it, we were 2 screening, LPW on 1. Warrior Wrestling was doing a show up on YouTube. They don't normally do YouTube shows, do they?
They've done the last couple have been for free on YouTube. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because if you watched last night, the Manscaped partnership, maybe they can afford to offset with that sponsorship to like not have to. But it used to be on Fight. Yeah, and it was reasonable. It wasn't as expensive on Fight, but you had to pay for the pay-per-view. So I'm not sure why they went that route. They were plugging Manscaped pretty hard last night, so I'd imagine that, and that's not a knock. Go for it. Plug your sponsors to your things, but I'm assuming maybe that offset the cost that would have been to be on Fight, so they're just doing them for free on YouTube.
Hey, why not? I mean, I enjoyed watching it.
I'm not complaining. Yeah, I'm not complaining.
And it's still up there, so you can go back and rewatch it because we're going to talk about some of the fun matches, and I mean, it was a good time. Warrior seems to always deliver in that regards.
Yeah, Warrior's always a good show in my opinion. It took me a little bit to get into this one. Just I think they figured it out. Like the initial like hard cam and stuff and the camera work, they figured it out, and like they figured it out towards the end. So I didn't complain. But the first couple matches, they were getting their feet wet. The Stadium Series, it was hot. I think it was incredibly hot because I live close to Chicago, and I could tell you, I would have died out there.
Oh yeah.
like it was hot, muggy, so you had that to factor with. I think there was a rainstorm that had happened like in the afternoon hours leading up to this, so there was maybe they were going to go inside, maybe they're going to go outside, so I think they had to rush to get set up. Maybe I'm not sure 100%, but it was a good time overall. Like I said, where do you want to start?
Yeah, you know what? Like the biggest issue I had was the hard cam and it just being too dark. But it's even throughout the show that seemed like a constant thing. But like every other camera was fine. So
that hard cam shot at the beginning when it's on the stands when there's not really anybody in the stands because they're all around the stadium was like, oh no. Did nobody show up? I was like, did nobody show up? And then you see that they're all circled in around the stadium. So there was a lot of people there. It just their initial shot, I was like, don't do that.
You know what? Like, because you asked what I thought. I thought that I want to go to one of these shows just so I can bring my lawn chair and just sit there and watch wrestling. Because I mean, it was kind of cool watching people just sitting there, just enjoying.
Yeah, they do the stadium series throughout the summers. They've done them. I mean, I've not gone to one yet because I just haven't made it out there. But they look cool. They look like they'd be fun to go to. My only little tidbit early on was like the kind of the dig at Athena. Did you catch that on commentary? No. So that during the Sky Blue and Heather Reckless match, like they were like, we're just trying to get a date hammered out with Athena so she can come defend this Warrior Wrestling belt because she's in Ring of Honor right now. Yeah. And I was like, don't say that on comment. Don't put that, because I was there when Athena won the Warrior Wrestling Women's Championship in South Bend, and I don't think she's defended it since. And that was 2 South Bend shows ago, so that was last year at some point, I think. Maybe she has, and I just missed it, but yeah, I was like, calm down.
I mean, the show started with Sabin Gage and Cole Radrick, and I was watching, but not like fully invested in it, which, I'll say, but like, when Sky Blue and Heather Reckless went out there, like I'm a huge Heather Reckless fan. I saw her live here once and like hooked ever since then.
I've never seen her till last night. That's the first time.
I think she had a great showing. There's a few missed spots by Sky Blue, but like it wasn't anything too serious.
Yeah, I was gonna say they started slow.
Yeah,
they started real slow, trying to feel each other out. Like you said, a couple missed things here and there, but they really rallied it around it and like made it a really fun and exciting match towards the end there. Of course, Sky Blue's winning. She's AEW, so you're not having her take a loss.
Yeah, but I was happy that Heather Reckless got that opportunity, and I mean, I think she's someone that in a few years' time you'll definitely see a lot more of on some of these bigger shows, like in a more prominent position. So.
Heck yeah!
After that, we had
but Athena, the belt. Please defend the belt.
I mean, Sky Blue's waiting for you there. So,
well, they may. I don't know. Thunder Rosa ended. Thunder Rosa had to relinquish it because of her AEW commitments. I don't know why they just maybe do that.
I don't know. I mean, if she doesn't defend it at the next show, it's almost something you have to look at doing just to have it. If there's no plan in place, I mean, do that just so that you can have it defended on your shows.
I agree. All right, moving on. My favorite. You said my favorite, so that worries me.
Your favorite and mine, the Bang Bros.
Oh yeah,
Coda Hernandez.
I was like, did the Rads show up here?
Sort of Incredible Iverson. And I mean, Bang Bros always seem to do something innovative and different in it, and this match was no different. So there was a couple fun spots with them, but this was also one that I was tuning in at LPW at the time, so my attention was varied.
Yeah, no, I was keeping tabs here and there. Well, the reason that I wasn't super invested, and I can't remember his name, I'm gonna feel bad, but they had announced the original match. They threw this match kind of together because somebody couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So they kind of threw this tag team match together. So, and then when the Bang Bros came out, and I was like, well, I know the Bang Bros are going to win, right? So the Bang Bros, and that was right at the time LPW was starting up. So I really focused in on the beginning of LPW because that's when that Challenge Championship match was going on. But again, you watch it back. I watched it back real quick. No, this was a classic Bang Bros match. They get the win. Yeah. They're behind the fans. So it was good times. Good times. Check out the Bang Bros. They're for everyone. Just don't Google their name.
Not at all. Don't Google that. Don't Google anything Bang with another word after it. No.
All right. No, from experience.
After that. What? After that,
I feel like you could Google Bang Energy.
Yeah, just keep your safe search filter on just in case, and you should be fine. You know? your child lock on your internet.
Oh, that's funny.
So after that, we had Jordan Cross, Storm Grayson. This was sort of in the same vein as me as the Bang Bros match. It didn't do a lot to keep my attention. And it's nothing on either wrestler. It's just the timing of it. Just, I was more focused on the LPW. Jordan Cross, I thought he had a good showing, so.
And another win for Jordan Cross. He's racking up these victories. He's like the underdog in Warrior right now. He's killing it. And I like Storm Grayson. I don't enjoy the Frank the Clown stuff with Storm Grayson, but like I think he's got potential to do something big in the future. Like he's got a good look. He's very talented in the ring. These two did a great job. I did maybe have my eye on this a little more than you did, just because I really enjoy the components here. So it was a good match. Jordan Cross gets another win. I'd like to see what they do with him. He keeps racking up victories in Warrior. You got to give him a title shot at some point, right?
Mm-hmm. If he's getting those dubs, you got to think he's going to be in line sooner than later. So I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, let's go. Book it, Warrior.
Yeah. So a few more we got to rattle off because I know you got to get out of here at the top of the hour. So
we're a little after. I got a little time, but yeah.
Okay. After that we had Konosuke Takeshita facing off with Warhorse, and I was hyped for this match. I mean, totally different dynamic of wrestlers in this one, so I was very stoked for it. I thought it delivered. I thought it was great.
Takeshita doing the hurdles.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that there's like 3 different angles of it out online.
Yeah, and then like when Warhorse picked up that goal, the first down marker and swung that thing, and then Takeshita, oh my god, dude, those guys like beat the crap out of each other, and like it was so hot, it was so humid, it was such a long match that like Warhorse's paint had completely melted off his face. They took liberties across that stadium. Like Warhorse, every time I've seen Warhorse wrestle at Warrior, I don't even know why they started in the ring.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to post that comment because it's too early in the morning for it.
Why not?
There's going to be some kid who's watching this show, and then they see that, and they're going to go Google 2 girls, 1 cup, and then we're going to get banned from YouTube and Twitch and Love Wrestling.
Yeah, we're getting fired. Well, no, Lawrence is a legal expert. He'll figure out a way around it.
I hope so. Legal expert for 4 exposures.
All they'll do on the replay of this episode is put that the comments put up here do not reflect the views of Love Wrestling. Or anyone
exactly.
It'll say like anyone associated with Love Wrestling except for Lawrence.
Yeah.
But no, what a match, dude. What a match.
You know what? He's really come into his own. I mean, everyone knows him on the independent wrestling scene. He's made quite the name for himself, but it goes like beyond that because I mean, I know he's done a lot of training with younger wrestlers. A big part, it was Team Ambition out in St. Louis. So, I mean, helping shape some of the wrestlers out there, wrestling for Glory Pro, a few others. So he's really making his mark on the wrestling scene.
Yes. Yes. It was a good time. And Takeshita got the win, right? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So, that's right. I was like, they should have gave that one to Warhorse, but of course the AW, you're keeping Takeshita looking strong. But that match ruled. Yeah, it was all over the place. There was so much going on. But anyway, we move on.
Yeah. After that, we had the Lucha title, Gringo Loco, El Hijo de Vikingo, and Gabriel Fuerza.
Morning, Alex Rain. Right, and big news before they actually aired this match on YouTube. The last time Vikingo wrestled for Warrior, they couldn't air it. I don't know why. I don't have all the ins and outs of that. It was just audio commentary. They were actually able to show the match.
Was that
because I almost tuned out. Because I was like, well, if they're just going to do the commentary part of it, I'll get the cliff notes of like who won and we'll talk about it today. And I'll focus in on LP Dub. But they showed it.
When they first announced him doing his like sort of US tour here, because I know that there was like a thing with AAA being like, no, you can't show his matches on YouTube or even on iPay-per-view. So like GCW wasn't going to be able to show his matches if you wrestled for them, and I think they got things worked out where it was kosher now. So I'm glad, because I mean, if I'm tuning into a show and he's advertised, I want to see that match. So
Right.
especially if I'm buying it, you're advertising that as part of the pay-per-view. Show it.
Yeah, because I think when he was in Grand Rapids in South Bend, I was at the South Bend show he was at, so I got to see it, of course, because I was in the building. But they would just cut to like a graphic and have the commentators just talk you through the match, and then they would air. I thought that they would air the match on some AAA affiliate though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Bebe works outside 118 Fahrenheit heat index the other day. So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're out in that stadium on that AstroTurf. It's probably pushing over 100.
Yeah.
Oof, man. Oof. But yeah, this match was fun, man. This had everything. I was super worried about some of the spots due to the humidity, due to how hot it was, the rope speeds, because you could see at a couple points, like Vikingo or Loco is like making sure that the sweat, they're not as slippery. So they, because some of these moves, if you messed up, oof, I don't want to think of the outcome of some of those things, but you could tell that they were making it work.
Yeah, there was a few springboards by Vikingo. One he botched at the GCW show that we last talked about. I mean, he was able to pull that off, and it's amazing given the weather conditions that he was able to do that, but just looked incredible. There was some massive moves in this. I mean, there was one part where it was like Spanish fly off the top rope, and then it was a lethal injection, and then you're seeing like a code red turned into a pile driver, and it's just like one after another, and like those car crash type things are like huge my jam. Like I love that stuff.
Oh yeah, this was great. And then ultimately, I don't want to say he stole the win because he didn't steal it, but ultimately Vikingo hit that nasty spot on I don't want to butcher his name. Not Gabriel
Fuerza.
Fuerza. I was going to say something else, and I didn't want to butcher it. So Fuerza, he hits that spot, and Loco comes in and gets the pin after like a pile driver thing. Like, heck yeah! And Gringo Loco is still your Warrior Wrestling Lucha champion. He is. He's super good.
Yeah,
and the fans love him there. I think he's out of Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. So that was another hometown. A lot of hometown flavor. With Sky Blue, Gringo Loco, and that really showed through. So yeah, he gets the win. He beats Vikingo. Like he gets to put that on. He beat him again. He's got Vikingo's number in Warrior Wrestling.
Racking up the dubs,
dude. Very impressive.
After that, the Warrior Wrestling Championship match: Casey Navarro, the champion, facing off with Matt Cardona, the
Indie God.
Indie God. So. This was fun. It took me a little bit to get into, but as soon as they kind of started brawling outside of the ring and going everywhere, I mean, there was the one part where the cameras just couldn't follow them because they were so far off.
I know, I didn't like that.
No, like come on.
Like you said, it did take a while to get into it because, they did the talking spot. Then Casey did the let me run out of the ring and recollect myself, and let me grab a mic and let me do the talking spot. And they kind of like did that for a while. And then it ultimately, Casey Navarro wanted to be like an honorary broski or the broski of the week or something. Now he's a huge fan because he talked at the top of the show about how it was an inspiration. And then, so it kind of like, it was like, all right, guys, like I get it. Like, yeah, all right, let's get into this. Let's go. And then when they got cooking, they were all over the stadium. It turned into a Falls Count Anywhere match. Cardona eating hot dogs and throwing them at Casey Navarro, spitting he took some dude's drink, drank it, spit it in Casey's face. He had two kids chop the shit out of Casey Navarro, which those kids had to have been like, that was awesome, coolest thing ever. Because those kids were into it too. Like that one kid, he like whacked him right in the chest.
Wound up.
like when I went to Black Label Pro, they did that. Somebody did that spot, and the girls that like he wanted them to chop, like were like, no, I don't want to. But this kid was like, yep, I was ready for this. And yeah, I didn't like that they went too far out where you couldn't see what was going on, because I definitely would have wanted to see all of that carnage and things. But I mean, hey, that's part of the fun. It's part of the experience. And then they end up on top of that scoreboard. Mm-hmm. Oh, I completely glossed over. We had the ref bump spot where the ref is gone.
Yeah.
Then we had Frank the Clown come in, and he gets involved, and he gives the belt to Casey Navarro, and he says, bash Cardona's brains in. Casey winds up. Frank's holding Navarro. Or I'm holding Cardona, smashes Frank the Clown because Cardona moves. He's out. But the little subtle spot there was like Navarro gave like Frank the finger and said so, because they were beefing earlier in the night. But at the end, so it kind of circles back. At the end, Frank the Clown makes his way up to the top of that press box, throws some powder in Cardona's eyes. Casey gets his kick in. 1, 2, 3. He leaves as a Warrior champion. Mm-hmm. Fireworks go off. Cool visual. But my question now is like, does Frank see that later and go, why were you mad at me, bro? You hit me with the belt. You missed. Yeah. So that's an interesting wrinkle for the next Warrior show, because that's a good reoccurring storyline throughout Warriors, this Frank the Clown stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed the ref bump, the near falls in the ring. I thought that was really good. I thought that was hot. And then resting up on top of the scoreboard, also very cool. Like, it was a very good visual to end off the show with, having the pinfall up there, the celebration. So I enjoyed it. I'll go out of my way to watch another Warrior Wrestling show.
Yeah, you should. I also didn't even mention like Casey Navarro. The match had gotten so personal and so deep, and so he was running out of tricks. He was using Cardona's broski boot and all sorts of stuff trying to get that win, man. It's always a good time.
So I know we are pressed for time. We were going to run down the rest.
I've got a few more minutes if you want to run it down. Things got pushed a little bit, so
yeah, I'll do a quick rundown.
Let's do that,
because it's Cage of Horrors 2.
Yep,
2. So we're getting. I'll rattle off the matches. You can tell me what you're stoked for, and I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. We got Marina Shafir versus Rachel Armstrong. Rachel Armstrong just on Black Label Pro.
Yeah, I'm excited. She's fun. She's one of those I just discovered, and I think Marina Shafir gets a bad rap. So
yeah, we got a dog collar match between Fulton versus Crash Jackson.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got a singles match that I am very pumped for between Roderick Strong and Speedball Mike.
Boom! Yeah, dude. That I saw that and I was just like, "Fuck, that's gonna rule."
So we got that. We got a no DQ tornado tag match with Jessica and Masha Slamovich versus Alley Catch and JT Dunn.
Okay, that'll be fun.
Revolver title match between Jake Christ and Kevin Blackwood, one of our favorites, Kevin Blackwood.
Yeah.
A four corners mayhem match between Jordan Oliver, Brian Keith, Gringo Loco, and it was supposed to be El Phantasmo. He had to pull out for a family thing, and they're replacing him with Alan Angels. So
damn,
yeah, Alan Angels
that's gonna steal the show, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And then the tag team title match, a Cage of Horrors 6-man tag team title match, the Rascals versus Rascals, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz versus Second Gear Crew. So
nice. That's a good card. That's a really fun card up and down. You said that's next Saturday?
That's tonight.
Oh, that's tonight.
So
I thought you said next Saturday. I was like, what are you talking about?
Next Saturday, we're getting Limitless Keith Lee down there.
That's right. Okay, that's right. All right. Yeah. What's going on in the wrestling world? My goodness.
So, it's fun stuff. So.
Well, it's perfect because Money in the Bank is at like 3.
Mm-hmm.
So independent wrestling for the rest of the night.
Yeah, you're set. So.
We'll be set. That's I thought that's awesome. Hell yeah. That's a nice little
to watch tonight.
That's a nice little surprise.
So,
Because I thought it was next week. I was like, oh yeah, July 8th. For some reason, I have July 8th on the mind, but
nope, July 1st. You're set.
I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Heck yeah, man.
Cool.
Independent wrestling is cool. Wrestling is cool. There's something for everyone. So hell yeah. Watch Revolver tonight. If you watch Money in the Bank, that's cool too. I'm watching it as well. I like my mainstream wrestling just as much as my indie wrestling, but you know. So Blair, what do you got going on this week, brother? Let's plug our stuff and get us out of here.
Just dropped a podcast with Thaddeus Archer III. So that's up. You can find that all podcast streaming platforms. You can shoot me a follow, all social media, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. Let's chat wrestling. And you know, you see me here every weekend with you doing 4 Exposure, and this is one of my favorite times of the week. So.
Yeah, we have a good time. You guys are cool. Thank you, Lawrence. You're cool, Lawrence. I'm putting that on the screen. Yeah. You're cool, Lawrence. We try to be cool. We try, man, but we're only as cool as you allow us to be.
Mm-hmm. So what about yourself?
Oh, well, for me, I was going to say, let's see. We got Beards on Thursday night, 8 p.m. on this very channel of me and JPJ, and that's it, man. But you can find me at Pluggo. Are you queuing up the stuff while I run through all the stuff I got to plug?
I've got my finger on the button.
Are you ready?
To hit it.
Your success rate's like 60% or something like that. 3 out of 5. So you can find me at Pluggo_ on all social media. Stay tuned on what I got going on at B2 Beards for all the things on the show page for Between Two Beards with me and JPJ. 4 Exposure Pod on Twitter. Check us out. You'll stay tuned. We tweet there. We do our things. So that's where you can find all the stuff I got going on. I would plug the article I wrote for LPW16, the preview, but since the show already happened, it's a preview, and I don't think I did very well in terms of some of my picks, but that's okay.
That's okay. Go read the article, then queue up the show up on the Twitch channel and see how Pluggo did.
Yeah, and then you could tomorrow on this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we have any Money in the Bank reacts or anything going on, but that would be on the Twitch side of things today. We'll find that out tomorrow, right here, 1 p.m. Eastern. We got the brunch gimmick.
Yeah,
the brunch. Are you going to be there?
Probably.
You're usually there.
Else going on. Yeah,
there you go.
I like spending my Sundays chatting wrestling.
I need to show back up to some of these brunch games, but yeah, stay tuned to all Love Wrestling social medias, Love Wrestling CA for all the news and everything that's coming up. And until next time, friends, we're gonna head out and enjoy the rest of our day. Be safe, Blair. Don't butcher it.
I won't. Peace in the streets.
Hey.